Project will generate a lot of reports by itself. So in this lesson, we're just going to take a look at some of the built-in reports. They've got what's called dashboard reports. So what you do is just click on the report tab, go to dashboards, and you get this drop-down menu. So there's a couple that we're going to look at. Burn down is basically is your project on schedule, behind, or ahead of schedule. And there are a couple charts that'll pop up when you click on that one. Cost overview. Again, there's some charts and tables. Are you on budget, behind budget, ahead of budget, or below budget? This is a big one, right? Money always counts. Project overview. This is kind of watching the timer on a ball game, right, or a football game. How much have you played? How much do you have left? That's what a project overview does. And then there's upcoming tasks. What's coming up within the next week, right? And it's always 7 days. It's not Monday to Monday. It's just from whatever day you have plus 7, right? So it tells you what's coming up. And it also tells you what needs to be completed within a week. So what's starting and what needs to be finished this next week. Work overview, just basically how much work have you done, completed, how much more is left, right? It's that simple. And then we have a couple resource reports that are built in. You go to the report tab, resources, and the drop-down menu appears like this. The over allocated resources, what this will do is show you all the resources that have more work than they can handle. They're over allocated. And then the resource overview, it's just basically what's the status of all your work resources. A couple good things to know. Again, money's important. So you go to the report tab, costs, click on the drop-down menu, and you get these built-in reports. The cash flow chart just says basically how much money have you spent on the project so far, right? And you get a chart and a table. Cost overrun, which tasks are over budget. Did you spend more money than you planned on? Then earned value report. I remember we talked about that in a previous lesson. Are you getting the bang for your buck? So this is how much work you got. This is how much you spend on it. Are you doing as well as you think you need to be doing? The resource costs overview. What this does, it just tells you how much you're spending on all your resources, right? And it breaks it down by that. Task cost overview. It shows how much your project task, individual task. So you got it breaking it down by resource or by task. So after you start your project, this is you want to do in progress reports, and you get to report in progress. Click on the drop-down menu, and these are the ones built into the project. Now remember, critical tasks are those that are on the critical path. If you miss the deadline completing a task on this path, your whole project will be delayed. So what project does, it has a critical task. It says how you doing on those tasks that are critical on the critical path. Late tasks, just so any task, whether it's critical or not, if it's behind schedule. Milestones, how you doing on hitting your milestones, right? Show what's past due, and you got what's coming up within a month, and it also shows a list of completed milestones. And you want to see what tasks are behind schedule, right? And if they're behind, that's called slippage. So there's a slipping task. Just says these are all the tasks that are behind schedule. It's a good thing to know. Who you got to go beat up to make sure you get it done. Okay, let's view some built-in reports built into a project. So first one we're going to look at is a project overview. It's in the dashboard, so I go to report, dashboards, project overview. Just click on that, and this comes up. It tells us we're 39% complete with the project. The top level task, you can see which ones were completed, how much were done on framing, and 0 on the others. Let's look at one for the resources now. Report. Resources. Let's do resources overview. Again, it tells us basically how much was actual work, how much is remaining, and our baseline, what we actually had planned for, right? And it turns red if we miss our baseline, go over budget. The last one we're going to look at is progress report. Per report in progress. Let's look at critical task. Now this is all the tasks on the critical path, right? We gotta, no slippage here. We gotta make these happen, otherwise the project gets delayed. You can see overall it gives us about 50% of the status is 50% of the tasks are completed, critical task. 50% remain, and that's all there is to it. That's basically building reports. Very easy.